Good evening, everybody. It is September 3rd. I haven't changed my calendar here a while because of all. I've got to fix this. Today was an interesting day. The weather has been gloomy and overcast and just not good all around. My allergies and whatnot have been on fire. Not runny nose or anything like that, but it's like I can feel the sinus pressure above my eyes, along my nose, behind my eyes, and all the places that I usually get migraines. I guess I don't know if they're migraines or just congestion or what, but it is that time of season for my allergies and bronchitis and all the fun stuff that comes around with it. But it was a good day. Work is just getting better and better, it seems like, which I'm happy. We are having all kinds of fun. Granted, I have 3 days off. My usual Saturday, Sunday, plus Monday because of Labor Day. I got home and Mom accidentally opened up the box that was for me. So in there was the book that I was talking about. Michelle Weeks got it for me. Sun Tzu's Art of War. And I read the back and it was very interesting because, Sun Tzu originally wrote this manual somewhere in between 544 BC and 496 BC. Sun Tzu was considered one of the greatest tacticians and strategists of his time. In fact, even according to the back end of the book, a number of different historical figures, including General Douglas MacArthur, as well as the leaders of the Imperial Japanese Army, has read this book, has taken some of the information from this book as tactical information. And I can't read this just yet. I want to, but I can't because, as somebody pointed out to me the other day, I have not yet finished doing the American Cozy book. So it's going to be on this little pile that I have. It's only about 2 books that I want to read and discuss. Maybe I'll discuss The Art of War. I don't know. Excuse me. I have been doing that off and on all day. And tomorrow is my first day for the holiday, and I think for the most part I'm probably going to rest and relax depending on what's going on with this. My sinuses and my bronchitis and all that fun, nasty annual stuff. I want to go into something that I know some people are going to have a little bit of an issue with. I have a little bit of an issue with it because of, well, today Jerry was supposed to go and get her MRI. Didn't happen. She was having stomach problems, and I'm not going to discuss it. I'm just going to say stomach problems. So she has an appointment for the 10th to go all the way up to Springfield. One of our friends are going to drive her up to Springfield on the 10th, which is next Friday, where she'll get sedated and dealt with. When I found out about this before coming home, we had a texting conversation during my lunch break, and I was a wee bit upset because I don't know if she got herself psyched out, so whatever, up here, and it caused her to have problems. I'm not a happy camper. I'm really not a happy camper. I understand these things happen, but it seemed like, except for the first time, seems like any time I am not at her side to be her security blanket, she has issues with going to doctors and dealing with doctor's appointments or appointments of that thing or another, because I'm not either next to her with the doctor or in the waiting room wait for her to come out. I've gone to my doctors, not here, but back in New York, I don't know how many times by myself. And I was so thankful to be by myself, because then I wouldn't have chiming Charlie, interrupting the conversation between me and the doctor to put her 2 cents in. I actually prefer going to doctors by myself, because then I feel a little less tense and more able to tell the doctor exactly what's going on with me without having chiming Charlie put in her 2 cents. I have decided that this weekend I am going to not work on this room. I am going to try to work on the guest room. That way I have a place to sleep if for some reason I can't sleep in the bedroom because of just the way things are. Jerry tossing and turning multiple times in the middle of the night, waking up in the middle of the night to use a commode that, if I knew it was going to be this bad, I would have been like, let's fix up the guest room, because I can't sleep in the same room as what's going on lately. Yeah, it's just disturbing. It's one thing when I have my own issues with sleeping and whatnot, or staying asleep once I'm asleep. But when you got somebody next to you who's unable to fall asleep quickly, try not to be noisy, but shaking the bed anyhow, trying to stifle a laugh because of TikTok, things of that nature, which I'm just kind of like, hey, you know what, you got to do what you got to do. But I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. I need to be able to fall asleep as quickly as possible between 8 and 9, so I can get at least 5 to 6 hours, maybe a little bit more, worth of sleep. But when it's broken because of her issues, it's kind of like, yeah, I think I'm going to take the advice of so many people who said, many of you have said, me and my husband don't sleep in the same room for one reason or another. My parents didn't sleep in the same room most of my life because my father snored, and my mom couldn't deal with that. So it's one thing to try your best to stay in the same room and sleep together so one or the other is not upset by it, but it comes down to a point where it's kind of like, hey, we've got to do this because your current situation, which is causing you to stay awake until whenever, and then tossing and turning and all the stuff you have to do for your comfort, my comfort's out the window. And being as I now have a full-time job, I need as much sleep as possible. That's one of the reasons why on the weekends I try to sleep in a good hour or two longer than normal, just so I can catch up on sleep. Which is kind of like, why not? You have, like, I have a 3-day weekend, so if I want to sleep in tomorrow and Sunday and then readjust for getting up at my regular time on Monday morning, even though I don't have to go to work. I'm getting up at 6, 5 or 6, just so that when I go to get up at 5 Tuesday morning, I'm not struggling. I'm not on the struggle bus. But uh, I sorry, something just flashed on my screen. I didn't even catch it, so I don't know if it was somebody trying to call me or what. But I'm doing what I can to follow the follow the doctor's orders, and I have to find one of my mini. Oh, it's right underneath there. One of the things that both my doctors had suggested was to keep notes of issues, which I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like journaling. I used to journal. I used to write down everything that happened during my day. It's just because, well, I do this, which is more like journaling to me, except I'm not giving out a lot of personal information. But yeah, I'm doing what everybody wants me to do, medically wise. Jerry's not 100% happy with me because I've been spending more and more of my time to myself. Spend maybe an hour or two with her before I go to bed, but she's, how do I put this nicely? She gets a little clingy, and well, if I were to, I know people can turn around, point towards me or whatnot, but she gets these these I don't even know if I want to call them moments or weeks or what, but she gets these points in time where she starts acting like a little child that needs a security blanket or something like that, and I'm like, okay, but I don't understand what the problem is, because it does not. She gets upset at the drop of a hat lately, and maybe that's menopause. I don't know. I've been told by a few people that some women, when they get menopausal, can be a little crazy in the head, and causes, the husband to just want to be like, nope, ain't dealing with this. It's not that I don't want to deal with it all the time. It's more like sometimes I just don't know how to handle it, because I've got my own problems and my own issues that I'm trying to deal with, and yeah. Sorry. Combination of being tired and not breathing. But for the most part, I'm trying to move forward. Now, if I have to do whatever I have to do to get Jerry to be on the same page with me, or lose her in the dust, basically, and I don't really want to lose her in the dust, so to speak. I want her to be on the same page as I am, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you have your own life journey, and just because we're married does not mean we're attached at the hip. It means we live together, we do a lot of things together, we're a couple, the whole 9 yards. But I have my own book, you have your own book. And yeah, sometimes our stories are shouldn't say sometimes, but a lot of times our stories and our paths crisscross. But that does not mean we have to have the same book, the same story, the same page, the whole 9 yards. It's virtually impossible. I have an uncle who, he's a good man. He's been a good father, been a good husband. He's been through a lot. I mean, he was a grunt in Vietnam and survived that. Doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't like talking about that. But there are times where I just kind of wonder if he's in his own zone. Because my aunt, his wife, will ask him a question and he'll be like, I don't know, or huh? And I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of funny the way they react to each other, but there's no like harping, griping, controlling, whatever you want to call it. So, and I look at my uncle sometimes and it's almost like I admire him for who he is, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I can only imagine what difficulty he's gone through during Vietnam, losing a daughter before she hits her prime. I mean, my cousin Michelle, she was, let's see here, when she passed away, I was either in my late 30s, early 40s, and she's about a year older than I was. So, yeah, she'd already be 50 by now. And I could only imagine how that shook him and that stuff. But I'm trying to, well, like I said yesterday, I'm trying to work on myself. I have to work on myself to get to my happiness, and then try to find a way to maintain that happiness while dealing with all the stuff I have to deal with. I mean, between a full-time job, dealing with Jerry Ann when I get home, helping Mom out when she needs help, doing dinner for most days. Some days we do fend for yourself. I have a full plate, and I have to find a way to make room on that plate for myself. And from what I've been told and whatnot, I should have the bigger portion. I should be the bigger portion on that plate. Everything else should be small portions. So, when I heard it in that terminology, I was kind of like, okay. I'll try to do that, and that's what I'm working on. So like I said, tomorrow I'm either going to sleep in, or I'll have my alarm probably set for like 6:30, 7 o'clock, give myself an extra hour and a half worth of sleep, maybe 2 hours worth of sleep. And when my alarm goes off, if I feel like getting up and starting my day, I'll get up and start my day. If I wake up and I feel like crap, well, I might just roll over and go back to sleep for another hour. Or I'll just crawl out of bed and start my day very slowly and see where it goes. But anyhow, that is my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in the question comment box. I'm actually looking forward to questions. I really want to be able to sit down sometime this weekend and do like a Q&A. That's what I'm hoping. But anyhow, put your questions in there. I'll be happy to jot them down and answer them Sunday. Yep. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed these videos, there's a little button down there that says subscribe. You can click on that, and then a little bell will pop up. You click on the bell, and it will let you know when I put in my next video. Until then, or until next time, you guys enjoy the weekend. Have a good Labor Day weekend. Bye.